Good evening. I will be responding tonight to journal number two on disciple abuse, an article by Gordon MacDonald. I will actually be coming with two quotes. This article, this reading this week really spoke to some situations that um, I've been in recently. I haven't experienced discipleship abuse personally toward me. I've had mentors, but never experienced discipleship abuse. But I have seen discipleship abuse or disciple abuse between a mentor and mentee, both of which um, once attended our church. So I'll try to get into these quotes because I tend to go a little long. The first one is abusive disciple making begins when someone seeks people with the conscious or unconscious aim not of growing or leading them, but of controlling them. Sadly, this can be and often is effectively done in the name of discipling. Um, and so I've seen this. I've seen this this seeking of young Christians or vulnerable Christians, um, consciously or unconsciously, because we can't say what people's intentions are. And so if they're conscious of it or unconscious of it, but I've seen this seeking out in the name of discipleship. The individual that was the mentor, their entire kind of framework around the faith was really strongly pushed and influenced by discipling. And so that was one way that they really were able to form these relationships because they really pushed the theology around discipleship and how important discipleship is, which discipleship is very important. But this growing and leading should include a larger community. And so the individual that I had this experience with where I saw this occurring was really pulling people out of community. The individuals who would serve, individuals who would come to Bible study, once they began to be discipled by this individual, they were no longer engaging in kind of community events or community discipleship or community serving. That individual started their own Bible study. And so I saw this like this isolation, right? We talk about this control of the disciple maker, not wanting this person necessarily to grow, but to control them. And the way that I saw this control really, which was effective, was this isolation that was happening. The second quote that really resonated with me says this: when these sorts of people emerge in a Christian context, and we must not fail to face this reality, they cloak their intentions in theological vocabulary and defend their motives and methods in a most impressive Christian framework. I think I just mentioned kind of how that happens. And then it says their preferred relationship is with younger Christians, promises spiritual maturity, but in fact leads to relational domination. And I've seen this as well with this same individual. When we talk about this seeking, was seeking younger Christians, right, and vulnerable believers who, let's say, are going through a divorce or having problems at home, and they would see these individuals, see them, at the altar. Sometimes the mentee would be emotional before they became the mentee, and that's how this individual, this abusive individual, would seek them out, would see them crying and kind of emotional, and see their kind of brokenness, and that's where the recruitment began, and so and then yes, with these promises of growth, that through discipleship that they are going to be on a higher spiritual level. And then we saw where when this didn't occur, other people were blamed, but that individual actually was pulling people out of the faith. Again, I have gone pretty long here, but those two quotes really, really spoke to me around disciple abuse.